Oh, hi, Kerry, Jackson. How are you? GeekshowPodcast.com welcomes you to the Basement Studios and our YouTube channel. If this is your first time, there's some adult language and adult situations headed your way. But hey, we talk about like Star Wars, Star Trek, Deadpool, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, all that cool stuff. So if you like that, stick around. And welcome back to the basement.
Yeah. I am so glad to be here, sir.
Huzzah!
Are you?
Where
Yes.
am I? Who are you people?
Because you sound like you're being held hostage.
What you mean, you people?
Everything is great here. They're treating me well.
Why are you blinking so rapidly? I don't understand.
It's not code.
And just
It's
with
not
his
code.
Just with his right eye.
Yeah.
Three short,
Everything
three
is great
long.
here. We chilling and shit.
Three short.
He is not being held hostage. He's Shannon Barneson.
They're treating me well. Yeah, that's right. I'm Shannon Barneson.
Yeah, you are.
Fucking sometimes I go to Target drunk and I spend money.
And
That
I want
shit-
to. I want to watch that.
I want to watch that.
We need to get you a GoPro.
I want to.
Go for it.
Strap it on.
I want to actually narrate that. Can we make that happen?
Well, because we have a video of Shannon. If you go to
At
our
Comic-Con.
our YouTube channel, it's him running around Comic-Con.
It's
But I'm
very-
like,
apparently it's very popular.
it's very popular.
Yeah.
But I told him I want to see him drunk at Target. I don't,
Just not my target.
Should I start a
Not
Should I
my
start a
neighborhood.
GoFundMe?
There you go.
Yeah, no,
James,
no,
he's on it.
don't, because I have a recently failed Kickstarter, and I'd be really bitter if watch Shannon drunk at Target works.
Succeeded.
No, here's what let's start it. $300 is all.
Okay.
it's a GoPro.
Shannon gets drunk and blows $300
At Target.
I
So
would.
we need like 500 for the
I would-
GoPro plus the
$300.
Let's go 500 for expenses.
Perfect.
This is going to be so bitter.
I know you are. I
And
can
how
hear-
much was yours? Yours was expensive, right?
Yeah, because it was going to take me 3 fucking months of my life to do. So I
Shannon.
don't think $5,000 was a lot to ask.
Where did you get to? Where did it end?
I think we got to $2,850.
Yeah, I remember checking that.
I mean, $2,850.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, because I learned a lesson there, which is that people would probably rather I don't.
Oh my god, my
Damn.
heart just
Oh,
exploded.
these are
God
lessons.
Damn.
I just got here. Could you guys tone down the
On a
multitudes?
lighter
Like-
note,
I would really love it though if you do videos of him drunk at Target. I would like to be his Richard Attenborough. That's
Oh
what-
my god,
Ah,
yes.
perfect.
And here's Shannon's discovered lubricants.
I discovered those.
Are you a
long time ago.
water-based or an oil-based?
Well, water-based.
man!
It's way easier to get out of shit.
Wait. What's Astroglide?
Huh?
What's
Water-based.
That? Is that water-based?
water-based.
Okay then.
Cool.
Well, you know if it leaves a residue,
I don't like that word.
He.
Residue.
like a moist residue.
Moist
Oh my
residue. You
gosh,
don't like
why
that?
did you do that?
That,
Perhaps.
okay,
Let-
first of all,
let-
I
scientifically, you can't have a moist residue. Residue's dried.
All right.
Come
No, I
on.
think a residue
Thanks,
could be
Dr.
moist.
Science.
And second of all, Shannon's pub quiz is on Wednesday nights.
Well, you know what's not a moist residue?
Fuck you, man. Stop it. Shit is gross.
It's my pub quiz.
I'm looking it up.
At the Lucky 13, 13th South, right over there by the baseball thing, the building, stadium. Mm-hmm. Come there. You get yourself a fucking burger. You have yourself some drinks by a highly capable staff.
Highly capable.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, and then you watch me be a complete asshole to their. They're so happy that that we're back inside. So like, usually, once it warms up, we go out and we do it on the patio. Mm-hmm. And the bartenders are like, we miss it in here because
You're not selling any drinks?
because they're
or-
they're like, Shannon, you're the only person that works at this place that's allowed to be mean to the patrons.
Oh, I love
Nice.
You know what I mean?
that.
And this is like, I'm like, yeah, anyway.
All right. Wednesdays.
Wednesdays,
Lucky 13.
8 o'clock.
He's
Be
our,
there, or just sit home and be stupid.
That's what I do every night.
He's sitting home and being stupid. He's Leigh K.
Oh, Leigh.
Hey,
Wow. That was her.
I know, I was going to say,
She
but that's
stole it.
okay because her name is almost like your name.
I know. We got Kari and Kerry over here. That
I'm
was
sitting
her.
I'm sitting on the dad side of the table,
Yeah,
so I've started
that's
to
all right.
absorb Kerry's essence.
soon
No.
she will be Jim Backus.
There's no residue.
Leigh just mentioned that because
Stop
he knows
saying that.
He knows I always wanted to be Mr. Howell.
And
And you're slowly
you're like
morphing.
in that scene in Hellboy 2 where Hellboy realizes that Liz is having babies and he says, I am become father, And it's like you and become Bacchus.
I am become Bacchus.
Yeah, you're slowly bringing on your Thurston Howellhood.
Let me write that down.
Lord.
Become Bacchus.
You are. It's your ascension of Lovey. So I'm so proud of you because we used to talk about this decades ago.
Yes.
How much you loved Jim Bacchus.
Mr. Howell's the best.
Yeah, because
All right.
his Magoo. He was Mr. Magoo.
Oh, but go.
Yeah,
Oh.
so great. So
All right.
I can't see nothing.
You're the jerky king.
the Jerky King of Salt Lake City, and I'm trying to become the Jerky Emperor. I would like to.
Vegan jerky.
Well, I'll fight anybody.
Oh,
I don't
really?
care. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, really. I kind of figured this out. We had a vendor in Portland drop us because there were 3 other vegan jerkies, right? So I said, first off, Portland, you failed me. Mm-hmm. You failed me. Your king is sad.
You're dead to us, Portland.
And you're dead to us, Portland. So you didn't go to Food Fight and buy enough jerky. So you're dead to me, Portland. But you can make it up by going into Food Fight and asking for it. That would be great.
Yeah.
But as I said to a store that didn't want to carry us because they carry one of the other vegan jerkies, well, you're carrying all 50,000 brands of the meat jerky.
It's true.
And 6% of the U.S. population is vegan. So wake up and smell the money.
Yeah.
I just want to help you make money. So if you go to our Facebook page, you can see a little thing you can print off and bring to your grocery manager that has all of our information on it and say, pretty please. And I would love that because, again, I want to be the jerky emperor. I'm tired of kingdom.
Of the world, right?
I'd like to be the jerky. I want to be the Emperor Norton of jerky.
I like that.
That's
And if you know
beautiful.
Emperor Norton's story, you'd understand. He was king of America and protector of all Mexico. I'd like to be that in the jerky world. So you could do that.
All right.
You could do that for me. And also, all of our locations are online because I don't want to spend 45 minutes of the podcast time telling you where you could go and buy this stuff. So,
Nice.
Was that you again?
What? I didn't
That
do
man-
anything.
Magic noise?
That noise.
No?
Look at your shit, bro. Update your antivirus.
That's Kerry's
No,
laptop.
just no.
but yeah, you can get the stuff at veganessentials.com or all the locations are at Fresh Eats or on our Facebook page.
All right.
So,
Thank you very much.
and I love you.
He's fascinated by the fidget spinner.
He is the fidget spinner.
He's easily distracted. He's Jay Whitaker.
What's up? How
Hi.
you doing? Good morning, good evening, good night, good morrow. Hey, chilling this shit.
Why is he talking about Gamora?
Gamora?
I love Gamora.
That's what no, Green Girl?
Yeah, Gamora.
Yeah.
Yeah, Green Girl.
That's
the
what
one.
I call it. It's what I call it.
Here we
That's what I
go.
want to call it.
Yep, here we go. Which beer is
I love it that you're putting your wine glass on a coaster.
I know. I feel
like
like
it.
I'm in the Jackson household. I feel like this is polite but not necessary.
Oh, I've passed out many times in this house. What's up, y'all? Chilling the shit. Hope y'all enjoyed my show. I had a good time. Hope you did.
Oh,
If
it was
you-
so good.
I mean, it was good. People,
Fuck, it was good.
People was chilling this shit. They learned a lot about your boy.
God, they laughed. They learned.
Yeah.
They loved?
Nah.
There was.
No
they,
love?
They
I think
fucked.
there was some love.
They loved. They
I
made
like-
love.
I like the healing portion of the show, though.
Yeah.
When everybody just came together as one and realized that despite all of our differences, we're still human beings.
Yeah, we are still human beings. And if
Fuck that.
That's what
I would agree.
happened.
Some people
I'm
are
here.
not humans.
Once again, here to fight about Joss Whedon. So I didn't get to do it in the last episode. Lee wasn't here.
I love
Oh,
it.
wait. The whole Joss Whedon's a piece of shit?
No, the first episode
Wait, hold
that I
on.
was ever...
Hold on.
Let's-
We're still doing
Oh, yeah,
introductions.
Still
sure.
doing intros.
We're fighting.
There's plenty of times to get off
Preview.
the
Let's
do rock,
rails.
paper, scissors off
Preview.
camera.
We're previewing.
All right, I'll keep it brief. What's up? Fox with me. My name is Jay Whitaker. Follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at It's Jay Whitaker. You can also check me out on Disney Channel. Check me out on the motherfucking Disney Channel. I like to.
And there goes the Disney check.
Yeah, I like to. No,
What's the show called?
Andy Mack.
Andy Mack.
Yeah, your boy's playing a basketball coach. I'm coaching the shit out of some basketball. I get to yell at millennials, and I can.
They're not
finally-
millennials.
Well, whatever.
They're post-millennials.
They're post millennials.
I proposed bloops last episode.
They're
Bloops.
deconstructed millennials. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, artisan
You're-
bread of
Millennial
what?
goop.
And we need to stop the iGen thing before it takes off because, frankly, I had never liked Gen X. I hated it when it was proposed, and we're stuck with it. So, you post-millennials, no, don't go for iGen.
Fair enough.
All right.
And then check me out on Incredibly Vocal Minority Podcast. Hopefully, I'm still doing it at this point, but just check it out and just peace.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
He needs to update his virus and shit.
No, it's yours,
Oh,
Vi.
it's mine. Oh, okay.
Antivirus. It's antivirus.
But you still have to do it
It's
for
quad.
Kerry.
Oh,
it's
right.
Quad T, yeah.
Hey, check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony, right here on the Geek Show or on the Gadget Spot podcast with Excitable James.
I did that too early.
Thanks for that cheer, though, Jay. I like that. Jaren and Owen, where we talk about tech, gadgets, and video games. Also, I just Googled, is residue dry? And
I don't like this.
it seems that most residues are dry
Or tacky.
or tacky. That's the exception that comes in.
Yes.
Some of them are sticky.
But none of them are moist.
No, I don't think any of them are moist.
I think it was Leigh that said the M word.
Moist?
Starting off.
I don't
think
like
she-
the M word or the R word,
I know.
especially together.
How do you feel about glistening?
I like listening.
Hey, yo, I fucks with that. I'm effervescent like a motherfucker.
Sorry,
Things that-
effervescence one of my
Every-
trigger words.
Every time I see some meme on Facebook that's, tag a friend that hates the word moist, who do I tag?
This guy,
Jay.
Jay.
You
So
can also
upset.
tag me on the word residue. I don't like residue, man.
Do you like the word residual?
Yeah, I fucks with residual.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Because you're going to get some residuals
Yeah.
from Alec Drake.
getting that Disney
Andy
money.
Mack. Andy Mack.
Whatever it is.
Alec Drake.
Alec
What?
Drake was
Wait, what?
it was not even. Not even.
Whatever that show. Dog with a blog, whatever you're on.
She's got a dog and a blog. It's Kari.
It's Kari.
I do not blog, first of all.
She's got a dog,
Let's
and
set
she's
the
on the
record
internet
straight.
fighting with
You
shit.
maybe-
blog on Facebook. You write some long-ass Facebook posts.
Fuck, I'm an English major. I deserve that. I earned that right. They pay me to do that.
How do we find you? It's Kari.
Uh-huh. It's Kari. So I stream at Peachy Kari, twitchtv.com/Peachy
There we go.
Kari. That is my most valued pursuit right now. And if
All
you
right.
would give me a follow, I'd appreciate it. If you don't like video games, don't watch me.
Because
All right.
give a follow. That could be good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That could help you
That could
and
help me.
advance your desires in life.
Yeah, absolutely it would. Yeah.
Plus, my favorite thing that I wish you would do more often is live streaming you burning food.
oh
'cause-
my
Yeah.
God.
As a chef, nothing is
Thanks,
more
guys.
entertaining to me than watching somebody get so distracted by drinking that she burns her fucking pre-portioned food.
This is actually a really.
Wait a minute.
I know this
No,
happens.
this is a very
This is
fucking
I was
good thing.
I've made grilled cheese, and then I got a
You
know
didn't
Blue
make grilled
Apron.
cheese.
You guys familiar with Blue Apron?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got 3 Blue Apron
Hey,
meals.
burnt cheese.
It's burnt
Oh,
it.
so you're burning your fucking Blue Apron?
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the
Okay.
thing.
Sounds
I want to
expensive.
make it very clear that I'm not proud of
It's
that
not that
like
expensive.
infantile part of me. I'm not proud of the fact that I can't cook. It's just that I had agoraphobia and dropped out of high school to play video games.
Girl, I love
It's
you.
not that like I was eating
Oh, no.
mac and cheese. Like it's not that
That's
I like
fine.
Yeah, it's a skill that I didn't develop. So I was like, I'm not proud of this, but I'm gonna live stream me doing a Blue Apron thing. And I tried to make chicken, and I burned that chicken. And then I tried to make gravy, and the milk that I used was curdled in my fridge. It just everything that could have gone wrong during that live stream.
I think I need
Why
to
were
teach you to cook.
Why were you using milk from the fridge? If it was Blue
saying.
Apron, you should have
Oh,
got
that's right, it
perfectly
comes-
portioned milk.
Yeah.
Well, that
I
doesn't
think
make.
I drank
Did
that
she
milk.
just now realize?
I think, yeah.
Wait,
so it
what the
comes in
fuck? You drank like a little
baby
teeny
carton.
bottle of milk? You're like,
I was so
I-
drunk.
like,
I was so drunk. Like this is the most
So
tragic.
really-
Cardi, you were like, I am just,
No, because what I
I
ended
am
up,
fucking thirsty.
Your milk
I'm
got
gonna-
moist residue.
I
I'm
fucked
gonna
up
drink
the
this fucking
No, I-
3-inch tall bottle of fucking milk.
I fucked up the chicken, so I made grilled cheese, and I needed milk for it, but my milk was curdled, and it was left over from the Blue
Yeah.
Apron thing.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna ask you. Wait. You needed milk to make a grilled cheese? Do you not
No.
know how those work?
No,
To
you
wash
eat,
it
you eat
down.
it to wash it down.
Yeah, we'll milk with it.
So, really, what the video was it was about half an hour of Kari just wandering around her apartment
Yeah.
It was, and
It
me
was.
looking
It's
at my dog.
it
and
sounds
talking
like
to her
it-
dog. Yeah.
It sounds like it was like watching a drunk girl try to burn her house down.
Yeah, it was. Oh,
So
God, it
it's-
was so sad.
I'd pay to see that.
It was
Yeah.
it was a lot like when my wife and I met and she couldn't cook,
Yeah.
and so the conversation I had with her was basically, well, when you're cooking, what you really need to do is focus on cooking and stop going outside and having a cigarette, stop wandering around talking to people, stop answering the phone, talking
Yeah.
to your friends, because what happens then is you're distracted and you burn your food. And then the second lesson was things don't cook faster on high.
Shut up. That's still not true. I still don't.
No,
even though I
that's
feel.
true.
You go medium.
Here's what we're
medium
gonna
high.
do though.
Speaking of as a man of science, that is true. Leigh is right.
Please, I am
They burn faster on
rejecting.
high, right?
I am rejecting your reality and replacing it with my own.
Well, that doesn't make it true.
Some
I like
man
to
of
cook,
science.
and it's the outside burns faster when it's on high.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you guys should just
Shut the
make me food. I think all
Problem solved.
5 of you should make me a sandwich.
Yo, what's up? You
Wait,
like
hold on. I got.
you like grits?
I like grits.
He
I
doesn't
fucks
know
with
what grits are.
Just remember, it's not quinoa.
Hold on. We've got a
That's,
host.
that's different.
You guys, we've got a host.
Oh.
And he would pay to watch a drunk girl try to burn her house down.
I would so many quatlus I would pay.
That's Kerry Jackson
Oh,
over
hi.
Ladies
there.
and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com.
the admirable Admiral.
Thank you very much. All right.
How long did that intro take?
I don't know.
How long?
14 minutes.
Hey,
Ah!
it's a new record.
We're
That
not
was
good
like-
at this.
Wait, no, that was.
our
'cause the
intros
last
are-
one was 22.
No,
Our
it was
intros are-
16.
Our intros are the
Oh,
best
so
part
a
of the
little
show.
bit better.
16, 22, same thing. Go.
Go. I forgot to warn you, Tony. I forgot to warn you that we have a letter.
Oh, wait. I might have that ready.
And,
It's like we have 2 letters.
well, we have several. Actually,
Yo, shut up. Yo, first of all,
Let's talk about something else first.
real quick.
and
No, real
then-
quick. No, I can
Yeah,
fill some space.
Stall
All right.
there, buddy.
Elon Osborne. He's the guy that does the letters, the dice on show. Jingle.
Oh, he did all those. Yeah.
Yes, he did some shit for my show.
Oh, nice.
The little Joey spinoff
Oh.
of Geek Show, incredibly vocal minority, and those little drops that he had, like, because I do a word and bird of the week. That's like my thing that I do on the show. Is like, I like words, and I like birds, and I like talking about it, and so it's like there's like word, bird, word, bird, word of the week, motherfucker. Like, and I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted. So shout out to Elon Osborne. Like, if you guys want him to do a drop for your show,
Or just your
Contact-
life.
yeah, like,
Would you make me a theme song that I could play every time I walk
oh, that'd be
into a
dope.
building?
Like, you go to a staff meeting and be like, here comes Shannon. Here comes Shannon. About to fuck shit up.
He recently
laying
bought a denim jacket.
at Target.
Well,
Drunk.
do you need more time?
Yeah, give me
Okay.
another.
So
I'll tell you what.
there's
I could read the letter, and then you could play it at the end.
It
of
could
the
be an
letter.
outro. It could be an
like-
outro. It doesn't
like
need
a-
to be an intro.
Yeah, like a rim shot kind of thing.
Done.
All right.
Okay.
Done. I fucks with that.
Unless Carrie wants to play with her
Oh, no, she
Blue
looks
Beetle
like a-
figure.
I'm
She's-
playing with
Blue
it.
Beetle, look,
I
he
need to put his gun back in, but it won't
does
fit.
Blue Beetle get blue balls?
No.
Yes.
Ted Cord gets mad pussy. I hope you edited that.
That is the. Please write that
No,
down.
I
yeah.
think,
No,
I
it's
think,
too late.
I
Nothing
think
gets edited
Kari,
out.
Kari, you got the Geek Show equivalent of play of the game. You may have just named the episode.
It's, now, what's his last name? Ted.
Ted
What?
Cord.
Ted Cord.
K-O-R-D.
Oh,
Yeah.
K-O-R-D.
Can I tell you a story about Ted Cord really quick since we're stalling?
Sure.
We're stalling.
So Ted Cord dated Barbara Gordon for a short period of time.
She
They met
did?
on an online dating website.
Really?
Her name was Rolling Thunder.
oh,
this is
because
when,
she's.
this was when she was in Birds of Prey.
Yeah, this
When
is when
she-
she was in Birds of Prey.
she was in a
and
wheelchair.
His username was Bumblebee. Look at this little baby.
Can you not? Can you unsplit him, please?
No, he gets to sit there like,
Like,
that.
that
He's gonna
shit-
stare right at you too.
Yeah.
Do it,
He looks
Ted.
like he's got some.
Put the thing in the thing.
Don't say it. Don't. I know
This
you.
is too visual.
Don't say
you have
the.
to describe what's going on.
Looks like
Ted
he's
Cord
got
is
some-
doing the splits right now.
Looks like he's got some really good glutes.
If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you know.
Yeah.
You know that he's aggressively looking at Jay now. I
He
brought
is.
Ted Cord as my sidekick.
He's just slowly whispering.
He's staring down Jay. Actually.
That is. He's,
Yes.
there's a lot of M and
Let's
R
hear a
word.
letter.
That kind of makes me moist.
Oh, I got it.
You got it.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it an intro?
Yes, intro.
Okay. He's
It's an
getting it
intro.
ready. I should have warned you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So sorry.
We
The
promise we're.
Internet on my phone wasn't working.
Usually needs
good,
like
but I got
45
it.
We
minutes
promise
to do
we've won
this.
best podcast before.
We have.
Just like a couple weeks
They
ago.
Multiple
didn't say.
years in a row.
They said best, not most competent.
That's
Okay.
true.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Okay.
Still ready.
Oh, hang on.
God damn it.
Fucking Tony.
I turn the volume way
That's
down on my
the-
phone,
that's-
and I always forget to turn it back up.
That's
All right.
the gadget spot.
Hey, shut up.
You guys want advice on tech?
Don't talk to me.
Letters. Sometimes we get letters and then we answer them.
That's right. I did it.
Okay. Have it ready for.
Never heard that before, Kari?
Oh, keep it up? Okay.
That was worth the 8 minutes.
Use it. Let's use it for an outro too.
All right. Be
Okay.
ready.
Yeah, I'm keeping it up on my screen.
Okay.
It's so much better than my letter song. Hey, it's a letter.
Let's see. This is from Mike. First, I want to say I've only been listening for about a year, but it's been an amazing year. You guys make Mondays in the windowless office I work in easier to get through. Today has been an exceptionally rough one, though.
Mike's a Morlock.
I was in Las Vegas all last week for the SEMA show, a massive car industry trade show. I left my car in Salt Lake because it's a source of stress. I didn't want it to break down while I was out of town. Because of reasons beyond my comprehension, I decided that today was the day it was going to break down, right as I needed to leave for work, so my morning was filled with bad thoughts and anger. Then Geek Show came up in my podcast player. Hearing you, Jay, Shannon, Kiki, and Kari this morning brought a smile to my face and made me realize that I'll get through this.
I was there too.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to say, and Tony.
Tony was,
I was there.
this is potentially very bad and incredibly annoying, but it will pass. I laughed with you guys. I thought about the gatekeeping that goes on in the car community. and made me reflect on my own geekdom. Compared to most, I'm a casual, I'm a pedestrian, I've got a few comics and superhero movies and some anime, some games, not a library. Listening to you guys makes me realize that I don't have every issue. I don't have to have every issue. I know everything, and I know everything I need to know to be a real geek. That being enthusiastic about something and having a willingness to pick up issues when I can and explore new things means I'm on the right path. You also inspired me and my friends to start our own podcast. It's car-centric,
Well, that's everybody now.
but routinely devolves into Rick and Morty references.
Oh, I love that.
As you do.
Thanks
So
for
it's-
making
so
my thanks for making my Mondays better and for making an easier pill to swallow. Hiding in the bathroom at work, Mike. So there's
Right
Mike.
on, Mike.
Mike just composed that whole letter on the crapper. I'm
He
telling you
did.
right now.
Oh
He
yeah,
did.
I was
And
gonna
that's
ask,
fine. That's where I do all my best work.
when the light timer goes out, everyone's familiar with that in the bathroom.
Sometimes we get letters and then we answer them.
Yes.
All right.
Beautiful.
A little early.
Well, I try to fit it in when I can.
Okay.
Is
No,
there
it's-
another letter?
I got another one.
Play it. Play it again. Play it again. Play it again.
I love it.
Oh, it's
All
my
right.
day. Tony, shine. Come on, Tony. Yeah.
Letters. Sometimes we get letters and then we answer them.
All right.
Fucking leave right
You
now.
can tell who's had enough of this shit. Kerry and Leigh are both just like, why are they dancing? Why are they doing that?
No, I'm enjoying you all. This is from Brandon.
I fired you all.
In your head.
You hired me. Goodness gracious.
This is from Brandon. I've long tried to live by the doctrine of don't be that geek. But listening to this week's episode, this is the one that you and Kiki were on, and the conversation about gatekeeping leaves me with a question. If I'm asked about something I'm deeply into, I feel compelled to ask a couple of probing questions. I don't do this in any attempt to keep folks out of fandom. Instead, I'm trying to gauge just how far to open the floodgates. I want to be a missionary, but I don't want to overwhelm the pedestrians.
Yeah.
How do I balance this and not come across as a barrier or gatekeeper? For example, because I asked him, give me an example. He replied, well, like with Star Wars.
Yeah.
If someone asks about Wedge, how deep do I dive? Simply that he survived both Death Star runs, only person to do so?
Well,
Or-
as a man of science, a wedge is a
Why
war
do-
machine.
Why do you have to be a fucking man of science on so much shit?
Well, and I won't talk about what he's not a man of science about, but or
Oh.
He's talking about Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about God and Jesus.
and that. Well, they're the same. They're the same thing. Okay, so like if Star Wars, if someone asks about Wedge, how deep do I dive? Simply that he survived both Death Star runs, or are they ready for deep dives into Rogue Squadron, Wraith Squadrons, all of the EU that is so beautiful and massive?
I don't think this guy understands how gatekeeping works or
Yeah.
what it is.
If somebody asks you and you say you don't fucking get Wedge, then you're a gatekeeper.
Then you're a
Right.
gatekeeper.
Right. But if you're like, so this is how I usually say. Somebody says, "Hey, what can you tell me about this Warhammer 40K? Is really cool. I really like it. So what can you tell me about the backstory?"
How
I
much
usually
time you
say-
got? That's usually
No,
what
I usually say, "Do you want the Cliff's Notes?
Yeah.
Or do you want the whole fucking story? Because if you want the whole story, I'll tell you what. There's some great books. Let me tell you what books there are, and that's how I've been approaching Star Wars lately too. Is we can talk Star Wars if you want to talk Star Wars, but if you want to watch a movie with me, let's watch a movie, or let's watch Rebels, or let's read
Yeah.
some of these books or comics, and I'll give you a list of what's great.
And see, that's the opposite of being the gatekeeper. That's the
Right.
missionary. The gatekeeper is, well, fucking.
Can I put my comprehension of it in very general terms? I think gatekeeping is that somebody walks up to you and says that, "Hi, I have recently been exposed to this fandom, and I think I like this fandom." And then you look at them as the gatekeeper and go, "Prove to me that you are deserved of this fandom."
Yeah,
hate
and
that.
that's the bullshit.
And that's what it is. That's what gatekeeping is, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't get to fucking choose what people experience.
There's a lot
You
of
know?
there's a lot of gatekeeping with people that are new to something too. I mean, it happens to guys, not as much as it happens to women, because for some reason geeks seem to think that
And it
that
is
you're-
mostly at women.
yeah, that your gender dictates whether or not you're going to be into Overwatch, which is bullshit. Or race, or race that can be a factor too. But I know a lot of people are really harsh to kids when they get into something.
Oh,
and
for
that's,
sure.
And that's such
That's
bullshit.
bullshit.
Like there's a kid who really. he worked for us for a little bit. He was like 14 and he wanted to learn how to make some food. So he worked for us for a summer, and he's a good kid, and he really liked HeroClix. And he'd go to his local store to play HeroClix, and the adults there were really shitty to him because and it kind of ended up being this whole circle of geek thing to me, because I realized exactly. If somebody doesn't turn around and help this kid have fun with HeroClix, he's going to be that geek in 15 years, where he thinks that's the indoctrination to geekdom,
That's
right?
the norm.
Right.
That's not the
So in
norm.
15 years, he's going to be sitting there at his local, and some kid's going to come in and be like, I want to learn how to play HeroClix. And he's like, prove it. Prove it.
I actually have a story that hits all the points here.
Yeah.
Being an asshole to kids, being an asshole to women, and it's great. When I was little,
I hope you did it.
Oh no! Oh, I wish. Baby's face is all
Damn it.
fucked up. No, just kidding. So what happened is I went to a book signing for one of my favorite authors. You may have heard of him. It's Orson Scott Card.
Oh no, we've never heard of him.
Yeah.
We didn't have lengthy discussions for like 6 months about that motherfucker.
A 13-year-old girl who didn't know better went to go see Orson Scott Card at the King's English. And I went up to him and I had him signing a couple copies of Ender's Game, and I was like, Mr. Card, I am your biggest fan. I have read all of his books up until a certain year where I found out that I was gay. But beyond that,
And they're like, oh, wait, I'm the enemy to him.
he hates me.
He wants me to die.
I was like, I've read every single one of your books. I am your biggest fan. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, honey, no, you're not.
What?
Yeah, that was Orson Scott Card to a 13-year-old girl.
So he's an
douche.
asshole on multiple
pouring
levels.
her heart out to him, and he it's adult humor that children don't understand. Like, we don't get sarcasm, we can't read people. Children are face blind, essentially.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Is that
Children
sarcasm?
don't get shit.
I think it was.
I can't believe you would do that.
Yeah, can you? And he looked at me, and I started crying as soon as I turned around.
and he just put
Yep.
another
What a
hash
piece
mark
of
on
shit.
his made kids cry list.
Yeah,
what a douche.
I
What a
know.
shit.
He was an
And
asshole.
he was in-
Why would you ever say something
He
like
is
that
his
to
own
somebody?
gatekeeper.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
gatekeeping to his own detriment.
No,
I mean, I'll tell you, like, anytime anybody walks up to me
Mm-hmm.
that recognizes me and says, "Hey, oh my,"
I love your
like it happened,
podcast.
it happened like 3 times last night, obviously because in a
Mm-hmm.
Radio from Hell thing, and I had like 3 people walk up to me and they're like, "Fuck, God, I love you. We love the show, blah blah." And why would you turn that into a shitty experience?
Oh no,
for
you're not a
somebody?
fan.
It's because Orson Scott Card doesn't believe that 13-year-old girls were worthwhile. He's like, I didn't write my books for
exactly.
you.
True.
I didn't write my
Exactly.
books for girl children.
Well, I
Well,
mean-
actually, but I'll tell you what. If a 13-year-old girl walked up and said that she loved our podcast, I was like,
I'd freak out.
I'd go,
It-
well,
yeah.
your parents are terrible, but thank
Yeah.
you for listening.
I'm going to call CPS. I'm going to get on the phone with
Thank
CPS right
you
now.
for
but
listening,
thank you.
but fuck your parents.
I mean, the latest example of gatekeeping that I'm seeing is with Thor Ragnarok, because there's so much of it that is based in the comic book mythology that is different on screen, and I'm seeing it when guys try to explain it to people. Well, Hela is not his sister; it's Loki's child. They're not siblings, and also. And they just go on, and I'm like, no, you've got someone who's interested in something. You just
Right.
Here's what you do: is you say, if you like that Gladiator story, there's a great comic book you should read,
Okay, so
and here it is.
I have gone and seen that movie twice.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
just saw
good.
it, by the way, so I can talk about it now.
Yeah,
I
so
saw it.
fucking good. I love it, and it has fuck all to do with the source material.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean,
yeah. They tell their own story
I
for
mean,
sure.
but like, no, I wouldn't say fuck all.
No,
but
no,
it has
there's-
very little. It was
yeah.
inspired.
It's skimmed.
I mean, you got
Yeah.
Korg and you got Meek, but
okay, and,
you got-
my
Korg.
favorite
Oh my
goddamn
God.
character is Korg.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, but in the comic books, Korg was not like that
No,
at all.
not even a little bit.
Super serious.
It wasn't even the same color in the
Yeah,
comics.
Like, but
The
like,
well, they did that for Thing. You know that's
Oh, they didn't want people to confuse him with
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
but like in the comic books, like if they would have done a direct translation of Korg, he would have been like, "We're going to kill everyone.
I am
and
a-
honor. Yeah, we're war bound.
We're
And
war bound."
Yeah.
Right,
right?
that's kind of like a stereotype,
And like,
though. It's
but
kind of
like,
boring.
But like me, and like in the comic books, Meek talked. He was actually my favorite character in Planet
Planet
Hulk.
Hulk.
What was
yeah.
his personality like? Will you explain that to me?
He was kind of like this cute warrior. I don't know
Yeah,
how else to say it.
Like,
Yeah.
was he angry? Was he like Rocket?
No,
was
not
he like,
really.
No, he was like, this is kind of bullshit. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to fucking fight everybody kind of thing,
Yeah. I mean,
And that's why Hands
Yeah.
with Knives dude was the shit.
Yeah. But the minute Cord started talking, and it was that,
Office Space voice.
oh, it was, what's his name? Wakiki's voice.
Taika with
Oh
Taika
my
with
God, it made me
Waititi.
laugh so hard.
Yeah.
And the kids that have seen it, from the set,
Hey, man.
they're like, what was your favorite? What'd you like the best about it, Mr. B? I was like, oh, Korg. And I look at him and go, hi. We're gonna go in that big spaceship over there.
Want to come?
Hey, you want to come?
Sounds like you had a strange relationship with your
Mr.
hammer.
Right?
Our
I didn't
friend-
bring that one up.
You rode your hammer.
Right?
What?
Our
But
friend
the kids are like, yeah. And it was so funny. All of the kids, and like one kid even said it when they just saw him speak in the trailer. I never saw him speak in the trailer.
I don't
ever.
remember. I don't
Same.
think he did. but-
And
That kid was high.
Yep.
but no, it was before the movie came out.
That
Somehow
kid-
they saw it
That kid was super high.
from the
then.
future. But they were just like, I really liked it how this big, scary looking guy had this soft, nice voice.
It's like Mike Tyson that way.
our
Oh
friend-
my God! No, that's the best way to describe
It's
it.
true. Gentle Giant.
You know what? You guys are crazy.
Our
Well, no,
friend friend Nikki in New Zealand said that he's
that's
actually
right.
an even funnier character for Kiwis because
bet.
Yeah.
he is a New Zealand archetype. That particular character,
Like the huge dude with the soft voice.
something along those lines.
Well,
I
that's
didn't ask her to
Yeah.
elaborate on that, but I think that we need to do a little homework and find
She
out.
was
exactly.
because I remember that question.
She said
I remember that
everybody.
comment, yeah.
She said everybody in New Zealand knows that dude. So
Right.
Okay.
That's
But
really
like my
sweet.
thing is like, and once again, we're not those geeks,
Yeah.
and they took their liberties,
They took a lot of liberties, but
it was
we
a
didn't
great
care.
goddamn movie.
Yeah.
I
but
didn't
then
care. Yeah.
Also, they mentioned the thing where I'm sorry I turned you into a frog one time,
Yeah.
and that was like a year of Thor comics.
That was a little. Here you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't
It's
that
just
nice?
a little piece of
How
like
about that, huh?
this
bit-
exists in this universe for
Little
you.
fan
Oh,
service.
and by the way, Valkyrie,
Yes.
Tessa motherfucking Thompson.
right?
Hot damn!
Dude, I was into
Kate
Hella. That
Blanchett?
was insane.
I
That
was-
was some shit. God damn.
My cup runneth over with Valkyrie and Hela.
D-
I showed up to the press screen, very happy,
I just gotta
very
say,
happy.
Is this Barack Obama?
It's Chappelle.
No, it just
I-
you kind of had to be there at the press screen to see what was going on with my life, my personal life, and when I went home, I was
inside
like,
joke.
"What? Okay."
But
That's
yeah,
good.
but like I've always loved the character design of Hela. I've always thought,
Yes.
Yeah.
oh my god, what a beautiful, strong,
Are we spoiling this?
sexy.
Are we spoiling
face.
this?
No, no.
But Kate Blanchett as a live action Hela
Oh yeah.
made it even stronger, sexier, and awesome.
It was amazing.
Moist,
Yeah.
moist
The
resident.
first look of
You
her.
guys, I'll be in my bunk.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be in my bunk. The first look of her when she's all disheveled and everything, and her like hair is hanging in front of her
Like
face.
all gothy?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
she's like that hot goth chick at the club that like looks really mean. And you're
Area
like,
51?
Yeah, at Area 51, where I was last night. God.
she's like that glam
So
trash chick
ashamed.
that you met at the rave one time.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
Yeah.
Can I try to bring in just a weird niche thing that I noticed?
Sure. Then we'll
So-
we'll finish up here.
Oh yeah. Have you guys heard or seen Samurai Jack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
love
So
Samurai
weirdly, there's an episode of Samurai Jack where he's like fighting this volcano dude. And the volcano dude's like, I've been waiting for somebody to come and kill me. I can only die honorably in battle.
Yeah.
So the first scene, well, and also Hela looks like Haku or Aku
Yes,
from
yes,
Samurai Jack. So it
yes.
was really strange to see like the lighthearted humor plus the artistic merit with this weird storyline from Samurai Jack with the same aesthetic. It was so strange sitting in that theater because I felt like I was watching almost an episode of Samurai Jack.
That's
It's
cool.
a similar aesthetic.
I
and
never
was
thought of it that way.
insane. No, you should like
No,
watch
it's
it with
very
that in
true
mind.
because Samurai Jack could be very like awkward and stuff, and that's
Yeah.
how like Thor. I love that Thor was a big doofy jock.
Yeah.
It was awkward as fuck.
But back to the whole "Am I a gatekeeper?" thing. Instead of trying to lecture somebody about how Thor Ragnarok is wrong, what you should do is turn it around and say, "Hey, listen, if you loved that,
Read
here,
this.
read Planet Hulk. There was a year where he was a frog. Read that.
Read what was what
and
it was
just
called Throg.
yeah, point them in a direction rather than stopping them from
Yeah.
enjoying what they enjoy.
Right.
Point them in a direction.
so many.
Like use your
Yeah.
knowledge
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be like, oh well, go experience the stuff that made
But-
me love this.
But ask them to begin with, how deep do you want to go?
We're seeing a little of that
Not
with
even-
Discovery right now, where a lot of people are
Star Trek.
not willing to let go of their
Yeah. And it's unfortunate.
they're not
I
willing.
gotta get caught up, man.
They're not
I'm
willing.
behind.
They're
It's
not
really
willing to let go of scripture long enough to
It's
realize
really
that there's a really cool story being told.
They had a holodeck too early in the timeline.
And it wasn't that well. They had holodecks in the animated series.
Ha.
It's the suspension of disbelief that we all give freely to our creators, and then we take it away in a really haughty, petty
Yep.
way.
Yes.
Like you're like, I'm willing to believe that he has a sister that I've never heard of for the last 8 movies.
I'm willing to believe that they can turn themselves into digital information.
Yeah.
And move it to a different place.
Yeah.
And then reassemble it.
Yeah.
But you're like, what? Klingons can't look different.
I hate it.
They
I
have
hate it.
consistently for
I
50
hate that
years.
I can suspend my disbelief and think that everybody in Asgard wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah.
For
Exactly.
example.
I
But for some reason, like, they decide to change the canon just the slightest bit, and we're like, no, I'm not going to take that.
no, I when I saw that Korg was different from his from just physical appearance and then just voice and demeanor and everything, I was like, okay. But I wasn't gatekeeping at all. And,
And
I
they-
told the people that I saw the movie
They
with. I
also
was
need
like,
to. There's a numerical answer to all of this. I mean, it's not the 616 universe. So step
Right.
the
That's
fuck
a good
off and
point.
realize
Yeah.
that it's an alternate reality. It's got a different canon. It's got a different way of
That's
doing
right.
things.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've started calling kids that make bad choices at work. I'm started calling them Doug.
Oh my
Doug's,
God.
yeah.
Another
Another
dog,
Doug.
another day.
Good job, Doug.
All right.
Another Doug.
Go.
Letters. Sometimes we get letters, and then we answer them.
All right.
God, I love me.
We're going to take a break. We're going to have broken news where we're going to review Justice League for you after this.
I can't wait.
And then we'll come back to the basement, and I've got some a whole bunch of other stuff for you.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Do we have other letters?
I do, but
Please no.
Let's save it for the. Just keep that queued up. We'll do it
Okay.
All
Third,
right.
third,
Well, no,
third episode.
we're going to save this letter for the for
Third?
later. For
No.
later. All right.
Suggestion: we should
Yes.
have one day. We should have just a full letters episode.
Oh, okay.
I actually got 3 letters.
Really?
I did. I got
Oh,
3
nice.
You
messages.
got messages?
I
Nice.
did.
Aren't our fans great? Like, our fans are fucking great.
Genuinely
really are.
have never felt anything like that. Truly.
Like,
So,
like you got. Oh, hold on. And I know the kind of messages you get
Oh,
on
no.
the internet.
Yes.
I know.
You get the fucking worst. So you finally got 3 positive
Yeah.
They were
letters.
the kindest. Like I get death threats. I get just because of the circles that I run in.
You get bots too.
Geek
Hey,
Show fans, I can't even believe how kind. Like the fact that they took time out of their day to write me stuff.
they're the best.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm almost crying. It's fine.
So Justice League review after these messages.
We'll be
right
back. Hey, this episode.
Whoa.
And welcome back.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, bud.
Hey, no problem.
You
It's a pleasure to be here.
you are a
It's
dream
great
to
to
wake
be
up
here,
to.
friend.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, man.
What do you got?
I just got a message from my wife, the lovely Mrs. Cade. She just let me know that our friends Corey and Tui from Watchtower Cafe
Yes.
just bought one of our old fridges from Frisch.
Oh.
So if you want to feel the love of my deceased restaurant, just go to Watchtower because I guarantee you the goods that come out of that fridge. I'm part of that.
They have
I'm part of that. I'm part of the spirituality of that fridge.
The soul of Lisa's.
Yeah. Well, whoever that guy is.
And also, they are 2 of the greatest people I've
They,
ever known in my
they are.
goddamn life.
I think that shop deserves all of everybody in the world's support because they're very humble people. They're very
Yep.
caring people. They take. I cannot get into the specifics, but they have done things for a few of their employees that are so above and beyond what your typical employer does. And they're trying to get comics going in their shop, and that's great. But they make great coffee drinks too, and it's just
Yeah.
a great place to go and
And
hang
it's-
out. So
I would say it's a place of love.
it is a place
of
to
love.
go.
It really is.
It is a place of love.
Tui's actually my best friend. Well, one of my best friends. I was like, I have a couple of them.
But yeah, they're just good people. So go support them and just remember, tell them to get it out of the
I think
fridge.
it's 1555 South State
Yep.
Street.
It's something like that.
Yep.
It's right at the south tip of Prostitute Row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frisch is at the north tip of Prostitute Row.
Right. That's
so-
your turf.
Yeah, it's our turf. Anytime I try to walk down to Watchtower, it's like,
Yep.
hey baby. I'm like, please, ladies,
Hey,
I'm
babe.
working. I'm working.
Hi, babe.
Do you want to know like a fun fact about Watchtower? You know all those toys that are scattered about on their counters and stuff? Mine.
Are
That's
you
not
serious?
true. That is not true. Some of
not-
those
yeah.
are yours.
Yeah, some.
I would
yeah,
say
some of those.
I would say there are more toys there than
You haven't been in there in a minute.
Yeah.
dog.
I haven't, I guess.
yeah, no, there's
you
probably
have-
No,
there's,
I'm not saying that in a bad way.
no, I,
No,
I,
that's
I,
not
I
I
was
don't
just,
have any. I don't have any
I
room.
was just saying there's probably 100 action figures of mine there.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Oh, it's a
well, it used to
competition
be.
now.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
fuck! I was like, I guess the last time I was there. I don't leave the house. I don't.
No.
I don't eat vegan. I don't drink coffee.
have
I
you
love
ever?
those two people.
You don't drink coffee?
He just
No,
drinks
I don't like-
whiskey and fucks bitches. Just kidding. I'm sorry, ladies.
Uh-oh.
I didn't
Damn.
mean that.
It's not plural anymore.
I'm sorry.
And she's
Jen, I
and
have not
she's-
met you. I am sure you're lovely. You
and
are
she's
not.
not a Bince. She's a quality lady.
She's a. Even if she was a bitch, she's allowed to be whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Not my word. You can say whatever
You're
you want.
taking it back.
Damn it, Jen! I haven't met you, but I hope that you love me.
God damn.
She's tamed the shrew. This tempest is no longer in a teapot.
The point is, go fucks with Watchtower Cafe.
So
Bring it back around.
it's funny.
I'm trying,
I told
okay?
Carrie it would only take a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry
So
about
far,
that.
you've had 3.
Okay, so Inhumans ended last week.
Oh, thank God.
So how was that abortion of an entertainment
It
program?
was
Wow.
terrible.
Yeah.
That
Was
I
it-
watched every episode of.
Yeah, and I did too. And again, it. Okay,
It never pleased me.
let me do some. Well, let me
No,
throw.
I saw it.
Let me throw some positive.
I
at
synced
you.
it.
All right.
Okay,
It made me like Karnak.
Karnak was great.
Character I never cared about. They really handled him
See,
well, I
they
thought.
brought Johnny
I always
Carson
loved Karnak. I thought his power of being able to see the flaw in anything was
That was
fucking
great.
perfect, and they captured that.
Yeah. I thought that the performance for Maximus, he was good,
Yeah, but he was just.
but he
Nonce-
had
he was-
bad words.
Right, I was gonna say he was non.
To say he was acting them as best he could.
Right.
He had bad words
But
that he was saying.
Also, Kerry, he was
Yeah.
just less sweary a version of his character from Game of
Ramsey,
But-
of Ramsey Bolton.
but I watched it and I'm like, they could have, but they didn't.
What you
know?
think of
I'm
my
gonna
man
give- I'm just-
Blackagar?
I got to give a shout out. I love you, Lockjaw.
Lockjaw was great.
I love you, and I always
She's like my
will.
man Blackagar?
Toward the end, Black Bolt. Toward the end, I started to like him. I just think it's he was not the actor to do that. I really don't. You know?
And also, Gorgon, man.
And Gorgon, they did a
They
disservice
fucking-
to that.
That is my favorite Inhuman, and they
yeah,
just
they really fucked
let's
that
put
up.
some
you know,
boots on him.
I bet you. I bet you the people behind it are going, hey, that's a movie bullet we dodged.
I got the feeling watching the season finale that there was some shit cut out of that we didn't know about because a lot of stuff just happened. You know, it was like, okay, Adelan is being destroyed. Don't worry, we have a place you can go.
Yeah.
And that's all you know.
Yeah.
And when you get there, you don't see it. It looks kind of like an empty football stadium.
Maybe
Well,
it is.
So here's
And maybe it was,
So
but,
they send him to an ICE detention center.
you know, it was
it was
sad.
shit. It was shit. It was terrible.
You know who else realized it was shit? The IMAX CEO who helped make it,
God damn.
Rich
These are some
Gelfond.
sick burns.
Yeah.
Christ.
Rich Gelfond admitted that the deal, which saw the theatrical screenings of Inhumans, the 2-part in the theaters, that he helped pay for, he referred to it as a misalignment of customer expectations.
Yes,
That's a very
basically.
well
Can I,
said
can I
right there.
translate that into? Can I
fucked up.
translate that into a regular person talk?
Yeah.
People showed up expecting something good.
Yeah.
We didn't give it to him.
Because you put it up on IMAX. So here's what he said. Here's more of his weasel words. Customers expected a production akin to a mega budget blockbuster movie rather than pilots for a television show.
Right. Well, can I translate that part?
Go ahead.
People didn't like seeing big TV. Okay, go ahead.
Moreover, the fact that this was a Marvel IP set the bar at a level you wouldn't see from other pieces of content or IP because of the reputation and high production value of Marvel movies.
Can I translate that also
Yeah.
as well? Marvel makes good. We made bad. Okay.
He then, in the end, the deal went so poorly for IMAX that Gelfand added, "It's probably the last we're ever going to see." He said, "Going forward, we intend to make a more conservative approach consistent with the Game of Thrones approach to capital investments and content. We will be more conservative when considering whether to invest in our own capital. If so, to what extent?"
Well, and frankly,
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me translate the last part.
oh, by all
We
means,
made mistake.
Smell our own
Inhumans
farts.
could have been Game of Thrones. Oopsie.
We fucked up.
Yeah.
Is
No,
what
and that's
he's saying.
That's what it should have been. And that's why I was so disgusted with Inhumans. Is it should have been Marvel's Game of fucking Thrones.
Yes, it needed to be. It needed to be a series. You couldn't do that in a movie. It had too many characters and too many things to
Yeah.
do. But they cheaped out.
They
and they
cheaped out.
rushed it.
And they sent them to fucking Hawaii.
Yeah, because you get a tax break and you're in Hawaii.
It's the Inhumans Hawaii Adventure.
Yeah.
Starring Black Bolt.
God damn it.
Starring Medusa. She ain't got no hair.
And that was the thing, was that she had hair the first episode or so. Now I know in the comic book her head got shaved. I get that.
after 50 years.
But you know they did it to save the budget.
They did, and
You know.
it made her so
I mean, it-
fucking interesting.
It helped to make Maximus more evil, but it made
I
me
you give
care.
not
I
one
don't.
fuck about her
'Cause she
I
was
wish
horrible.
It would, here's the,
Yeah, that was the other thing,
I
is that
kept-
they were unlikable people. They
And I-
really were.
and they were like the throne. They were fucking. They were fucking suppressing people and making them slaves
Yes.
and shit. And it's like
You're like, what? Maybe Maximus has a point.
I was like, oh my god!
You know.
Thank God for this giant dog.
Anyway, yeah, thank God for Lockjaw.
Always lockjaw.
Another,
Always lockjaw.
Forever!
another. Yeah, we fucked up in the news.
Oh no, please don't read this. Please don't, Kerry.
Ooh, now I want to hear it.
Here's another.
This used to be my position. I would do the same
We
thing. Every
fucked
day. I
up.
was like, oh.
Just 5 months after Universal released the much-discussed cast photo, promising a slew of movies starring the likes of Johnny Depp, Russell Crowe, Javier Bardem, all drawing on characters like the Invisible Man,
Yeah.
Wolfman, Frankenstein, classic horror monsters. Those projects are dead.
Yes.
Oh my god, my heart. I can't. The Mummy was the or whatever that fucking movie
It's
is called.
dead.
The
So
Mummy
terrible.
with Tom Cruise
I
killed it all.
vomited in the theater in my hands and had to hold it for 2.5 hours.
Ooh.
Not really.
Well, you could have dropped it and washed your hands.
Where was the
And
mistake
left.
made?
Well, they think that it was
I think
launching
it was
it.
from beginning to end.
Well, I think they shouldn't have launched it with Tom Cruise.
Oh,
I agree.
No, what, do
completely.
you remember who was in charge of this project when it first got greenlit?
Yeah.
Back, 7-8 years ago?
No, tell me.
Oh, Guillermo del Toro. And his
Yes.
whole thing was he was going to relaunch the classic Universal Monsters franchises
And
in
that's
the time
who should be in charge.
Oh my god, I
right?
feel like I just found out Elliot Smith died.
in the
Like,
time
it
frame that they
hurts.
belonged in.
In the time frame they
Because
belonged
guess,
in.
guess where Frankenstein doesn't belong? 2017.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
I
what
like
what
that.
did Mr. Del Toro do now? He's got a movie that is getting rave reviews.
His
Ape
fish
Sapien, the origin.
his Fishman love story musical.
His
Yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon show.
Because it can't be the.
Origins.
I really want to go to Mike Mignola's house and say, Mike, please tell me, why are you mad at Guillermo? Because that should have been the Ape Sapien movie.
So anyway, writers, producers Alex Kurtzman and Chris Morgan, who were hired as the architects of the monster universe, they gone.
Good.
Kurtzman
Because
is
you fucked up.
Yeah, Kurtzman's working on Star Trek Discovery. He's got that deal. Morgan went back to the Fast and Furious franchise.
Jeez.
What a walk of shame.
Wait,
No, but the guy
that guy isn't qualified to do the Wolfman?
the last director, the last Star Trek movie was directed by a
Fast and Furious director
Franklin Lynn.
And I fucking
Justin
love
Lin. Yeah,
that movie.
and Justin Lin, and his dad was Franklin. He did a fantastic job with it.
did a great job.
But the problem with the Universal relaunch of the Universal Monsters is tunnel vision. They wanted to make money. They didn't actually understand the franchise. You can't do Creature of the Black Lagoon right now. You can do, what was the spy movie that was based off a TV show?
Austin Powers.
No, shut up. No, it was Superman and Army Hammer.
Oh, a Man from Uncle.
Man
Yeah,
from Uncle.
yes.
Yeah, that was
and
a
they
great movie.
set it in the right time frame.
Exactly.
And you need to understand that They did a werewolf movie with Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro.
Toro, I still like that fucking movie.
It's fun because it fits the time, and you have to recognize that if you're going to relaunch Hammer horror movies, like The Lady in Black with Harry Potter.
Daniel
worked.
Radcliffe.
I left. That's one of the few movies I've actually walked out of.
Yeah, well, the only things that worked about it were the
It's the
time
time
frame.
period.
No,
Yeah,
like,
the beautiful sets
It's
as well.
always been my argument because I love the Universal monsters so much.
Yeah.
Set them in
their time frame.
time frame.
Yeah.
future.
And you could still build. You could still build a universe, but it's set in the past
Well,
where they fucking belong.
They had Angelina Jolie set for Bride of Frankenstein.
Wrong person.
Yeah.
There's a series of books called
you know.
Anno Dracula, written by a guy named Kim Newman, and Anno Dracula takes place literally right after Dracula. But the twist is that they failed. They failed horribly, and Vlad Tepes went off and married Queen Victoria, and started the new Pax Romana under
New Masquerade.
Yeah, under Draculian rule.
That's fabulous.
And so, but because he's a bit of a trash vampire, he'll fucking turn anything. So the entire countryside is just overrun with trash
my
vampires.
mom, your mom, he'll do anybody.
Anybody,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
So
telling you, I've got the concept for this
So the
goddamn
whole-
Marvel universe.
the whole-
for this Universal.
It all involves
universe.
Guillermo del Toro in my head, and aesthetically speaking, he's irreplaceable.
One, Guillermo del Toro is involved,
He's the guy.
and if you want to do a shared universe, which you probably shouldn't, but they all want to do
Well,
it.
it worked back then.
Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman.
Can
Pretty sure
Albert,
it can work.
and that's what I'm saying.
Frankenstein.
You're tying together Agent Abbott and Agent Costello show up in every single one of these shows,
I'm with it.
and that's how it all ties together.
Damn,
Yeah, I mean,
Shannon.
they had a whole the Tony office building on the Universal lot was revamped at a lot of expense just for this project. It's decked out with monster regalia. It's empty now.
Right.
I mean, that's how much they were sure about this. They have decided that they're not going to do these in this version. That they'll make smaller versions that aren't connected.
They did the same thing with that Van Helsing.
Fine.
I love Van Helsing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but Van Helsing, they built.
It was
they
a bad
built,
movie,
They built in
objectively.
Romania. They built sets that were supposed to last for 7 or 8 movies.
But I
because
love
they were,
that shit. I love those movies.
When
Well,
did,
I'll
there's
tell you,
no
like,
accounting for taste.
I've got this friend. I've got this friend Brad Barker, and he was like in all
Yeah.
these punk bands and stuff, and he loves Universal. That's his fucking geekdom, right? And we sat and had this long conversation, and he's just like, "It just makes me sad, Shannon. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have any core values of what I love about those fucking movies."
Well, then let me light a candle
It's
rather
bl-
than
I'm
curse
ready.
the
Brad
darkness.
Barker.
It's blind. It's blind to the DNA of what makes
Yeah.
it all work.
Universal President of Production Peter Kramer said, "We've learned many lessons throughout the creative process on Dark Universe, and we're viewing these titles as filmmaker-driven vehicles, each with their own distinct vision."
Well, and as they should, because that's what they were in the past.
Well, as long as the filmmaker
Yeah.
isn't,
We are not rushing to meet a release date, and will move forward with these films when we feel they are the best versions of themselves. Hey, what an idea!
right.
what a
And
concept.
what- but like,
know,
you guys,
right?
like, I don't have like an objection to a universal shared universe. I think if somebody could figure
Yeah.
out how to do it right,
Right.
that could be really, really fucking cool.
Yep.
But it's not been so cool so far.
My friend Noelle, she does the Freaky Geeks podcast, and she entered
Hey.
Miss FearCon this year as an homage to the creature from the Black Lagoon. So she had this beautiful gown that was had gills on it and had all these sequins, and she gave a huge speech about the origins of the creature from the Black Lagoon. It was created by a woman.
She was blacklisted.
Yeah, she was blacklisted. One of the producers stole all of her work,
Yep.
canceled her press tours, and took her name off of the.
She created, as a chemist, created the latex that would actually withstand water.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing like that.
and there was only one prototype.
Yep.
They used one prototype for the entire film because it was so well built.
Right.
But the interesting thing about that is Noelle hasn't even mentioned these Universal movies, and I think it's because she's heartbroken. Genuinely, she's the person who she loves Bela Lugosi. She's a huge classic horror film fan, and she has not said a word. And I
Well,
think it's because this is just
Then
Because they've got nothing to do with those classic films.
No.
Not a one.
The DNA is not there.
Yeah, then she should be happy that this whole mixed universe thing is ending, and they're just we have these characters, and if a filmmaker comes along who has a unique vision, we'll let him do it.
Yeah.
So they should be happy about that.
I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Okay, as we end this latest, this section, I just gotta say, I'm sitting here next to Jay, and he's got some of your candy eyeballs in his face. It looks like that weird meme with the black lady that can poke out her eyes.
Oh my gosh, that's old. She was on Oprah.
Yeah, it's
I just
bugged.
think it's fascinating that he has been this way for the past 10 minutes.
Like 10
that
minutes
we've
or something.
been talking.
And we all thought he had ADD.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll commit to a bit.
No, he's committed. He hasn't been distracted from doing this. What he's doing, he is staying there.
I think he's taking a nap.
But now it's starting to distract me. I would like you to stop.
Yes, Papa.
Let's see. Red Sonja's getting a new movie.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
fucking kidding me?
Chainmail and boobies.
That was
Chainmail and boobies.
What a horrible noise to make.
Boobies. Chainmail and boobies.
I know what Shannon's excited for.
Chainmail and boobies.
Is that the new Peaches single?
So
I'm
that
into
was
it.
that was last with
That's all my songs are modeled after.
After Peaches.
that was Rose McGowan and the
she
guy
was
from the Grindhouse
She
movies.
was they were going to do that.
Yeah, but he didn't get the $28 needed to do it.
Yeah.
For the costume, yeah.
No, I can't remember his name now off the top of my head. but
Robert Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Of course, you remember Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez can do most movies on a $26 budget.
Yeah,
that extra
exactly.
$2 will put him over the edge.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but it failed. But then they got to look at that Wonder Woman money, and they went, "Hey, what do we got?"
Oh,
Now, wait a
my
minute.
God.
Okay, and I'm going to say once again, Wonder Woman was well reviewed, and it was a great fucking movie because
Careful
they
with your next words, Barnson.
It was all right.
I'm just kidding.
introduced Wonder Woman in her in the proper time, right? Mm-hmm. Right?
I guess.
So we
And
shouldn't
she
do.
was cute, too.
So we shouldn't do a modern Red Sonja, is what you're saying.
Yeah, don't put her in Times Square.
It should be.
We already had her Hercules goes
should be.
bananas.
Should be probably back in medieval times.
Yeah.
Or perhaps in a fantasy world.
What kind of fantasy world, sir? Is there
One with goblins.
do you have
one
a
where-
specific?
Mastodons.
One where the less clothing you wear, the
What
more protected you
chainmail
are.
and
Right.
I would say-
Chainmail and boobies.
Where warring tribes?
Yeah, it was somewhere where metal is perhaps a
Yes.
rare resource.
Right,
And, yeah. 'Cause
Metal is dope.
there's only one person wearing less clothing than Red Sonja in Crimea, and that's Conan.
Yep. He just wears his loincloth.
Yeah.
Loincloth
It's the
and
man
boots.
himself.
And
Conan's
like-
just like,
Hey, they're equal
Wait.
opportunity sexists.
Hold
Come
on. Holy shit. Yeah, thinking about that.
I like that man meat.
Conan, the stuff covered it. He only had stuff covered his dick and ass.
Exactly.
And it was made out of fur.
Yeah.
well, we think it was made out of fur. It may have just
Been his
been
pubes,
It was
honestly.
armored fur.
extraordinarily
I remember those days.
well sculpted pubis.
Hold on.
It
Hold
was
on, Conan.
it was real fur. It's very sweaty.
What was it like to work with Grace Slick?
No, it was very difficult. Sometimes
You-
the hardest part was wielding the sword. The sword was huge, but I was strong, so it didn't matter.
Wait, well, hold on. Also, Arnold, you were in the movie.
Twins,
Sonja.
yes.
You
Oh,
were in Red
Red
Sonja.
Sonja. Yes, we're talking about Red
Yeah,
Sonja.
yeah,
Great movie.
but you were not Conan.
Well, he wasn't anything.
He was,
It said the king.
Now, see, I never saw that. Really?
See, I haven't
In the-
seen.
in
I haven't
the-
seen.
in
I don't know what to
he
say
had-
on that
he had
one.
a big,
He did
he had a
not
big
play
sword
Conan.
fight with her.
But he wasn't Conan.
He was credited as the king. That was it.
King
that was his-
Conan?
I'm the king of
Maybe
Conan.
there's
He
Copyright
was.
issues?
He was Conan.
Yeah.
He was.
But it was a copyright thing. I didn't want to pay royalties.
I liked
Well,
Red
it's
Sonja.
it's the same universe, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But it may have
That's
been.
what I thought.
In the
It may have
comics.
been. It may have been a different studio. They may not have had the rights to
okay.
Conan.
That was my girlfriend, Bridget Nielsen.
She was my girlfriend at the time.
All right, round table.
I
Everyone.
stole her
from Sylvester.
She liked how I wielded my sword.
I can't. I can't participate. I can't do an Arnold impression. I choke. I start coughing.
Do it.
So does he.
no, do it. Kari, do it.
What?
Say, I'll be back.
Get in the chopper. Like I can't. Do you see
good.
how sad
pretty
it
good.
sounds?
That shit will make me get out of the helicopter immediately.
Jump out of the podcast.
Say,
Jump
come
out
to
of the
me. Come to me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live.
That shit, I'd rather hear moist residue over and over.
You know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
fine. I think I'll stay here.
yeah.
I'm good.
That's
Just working on myself right now.
Don't follow that impression anywhere.
Get down. Now stand up. No, get down.
I just want to stay with the payload. That's all I can say.
Somebody get on the fucking payload.
Get on the payload.
Let's see now. The CBS app. I think you can turn it off until about first couple of weeks of January.
Yep, because the last episode aired.
But
for now,
I'm not going to because of the new show.
What new show?
The new show the CBS All Access has developed.
What?
The new Twilight Zone.
Oh!
Knew I had the story.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually had no clue.
It doesn't have a start date on it yet, but
tomorrow.
they are developing a Twilight Zone reboot from Jordan Peele.
Yeah, because that guy doesn't know how to write horror.
Wait, hold on. Is he the bald one or the not bald
No,
one?
he's the Get Out one.
Did you
The
not
bald
see
one is
Get Out?
Keegan. Fuck you, Shannon. I know what you're doing right now.
He's
Keegan
baiting
Michael
Jay.
Key. No.
He's punishing you for doing that thing
So-
with your eyes.
so-
no,
I mean, but how big-
it's like a year and a half old.
How big of a deal is it for CBS to say he's the guy to bring it back?
It's interesting, isn't it?
I think that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Did you see Get Out, Carrie?
I did, and it was terrific.
So
I watched
good.
Get Out with a white girl on my couch, and it was the scariest night of my
That was the
life.
I
last
told
one.
sure
Jay.
you have.
I told Jay. I was like, make sure you're with a white woman when you watch this because I was trolling him.
Yeah.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah,
It
so
worked.
this was announced. CBS. It was on CBS from 59 to 64, of course. Rod Serling, and they have got Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions people
Monkey paw.
in charge of it. Marco Ramirez, who has helped out with The Defenders, Daredevil, and Sons of Anarchy, is going to pen some of the scripts and serve as the showrunner.
So he's going to be their Richard Matheson.
He will.
Because that's what made Rod Serling's Twilight Zone work, is that they had all
Yeah.
those Richard Matheson stories to work from. So
So this is going to be on the CBS app. So
it needs to happen.
it's a while out. So again, shut off your CBS app now. Turn it back on in January. Watch the rest of your Star Trek. Turn it off, and then wait until either the next Star Trek or this Twilight Zone series starts.
I want a Star Trek Discovery spinoff show called The Muds.
The
Where-
Muds?
Yeah, it's Harcourt and Stella just arguing
At
throughout
home?
space. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Roper kind of a
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they've got like another starship that they rent out to these kids that they're constantly spying on. You know, the Kirks. And
Oh my God.
and their teenage son.
Harcourt?
James. Yeah, Harcourt.
There's two girls and a man on that ship,
Yeah.
Harcourt.
I'm telling you, they're up to no good, Harcourt.
There's smoke coming from that chimney. Oh my God.
All right.
That shit.
They're
crazy.
down at the Regal Schmiegel having a nosh. Yes.
Other streaming TV series news, which is where everything is happening now.
It should.
Amazon is developing a Lord of the Rings TV series.
That's stupid.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
That sounds great.
How?
Jeff Bezos himself.
What is it based on? Do they have any sort of?
They're talking
Lord
to
of the Rings.
I love you.
I mean, like, is this Silmarillion, Book of Lost Tales? Is this-
Doesn't say. It just says that Bezos.
That wasn't mansplaining. That was a man assholing.
That's right.
Is it a variety show starring
what I
Tom
do.
Bombadil?
Nah, man.
Oh, I would watch that.
See,
And is it a musical? I just need a Tom
Is it a
Bombadil
bunch
Donny
musical variety show.
Osmond is Tom Bombadil.
Is it a bunch of elves dancing about?
I wanted to be about a bunch of eagles and be like, hey, should we go pick these guys up now?
Nah.
You know, there's an explanation
It's like
for that,
Crazy
Jay.
Taxi,
There's
but
an
with-
explanation for that.
I know there's an explanation.
All right,
but
it's a
still,
good
fuck
one.
'em.
You guys, let's.
Oh, I think Kerry has a story.
Carrie, let's let Carrie read the story.
no, I was just going to say it's Jeff Bezos himself is negotiating.
Mr. Donald Trump hates me more than any human being
Yeah,
alive.
he's negotiating with the Tolkien estate, and they're notoriously
assholes.
assholes
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the rights to this.
Hello, I'm Christopher Tolkien, and I'm trying to make sure that my father's legacy is protected. He would not have liked all these battles. There's too many battles. He would have liked more dining and Tom Bombadil.
You sound like Taika Waititi and John Boyega.
It's
combined.
okay.
And
Because
some singing.
basically, if Taika Waititi and John Boyega had a child, his name would be Christopher Tolkien.
And there needs to be more singing.
Yeah, more singing.
Can you say Star Wars Battlefront?
Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh no, I got to put on the John Boyega voice, which I don't have. But
Star Wars Battlefront.
yeah, his big pitch voice is amazing.
I love him.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
And then finally this, and then we'll get to some video games, and we'll wrap
yeah.
this episode up.
Oh, I got to come up with a ham thing.
That's your warning.
Well,
5-minute warning.
all right. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
it's
Stan! Stan Lee's back.
Hey, Stan's here! Oh my God! Oh,
It's your old
Kari's face was so concerned.
it's your old pal Stan Lee.
Stan's here!
I'm not gonna
snuck
do this.
You were so
I'm not.
confused. You were
Nobody's-
so triggered.
Nobody's paying me enough right now for this. Stan! Oh, you guys, Stan is here.
That's not what I sound like at all.
I will punish you for this.
How did 10-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger do it? I'm putting through Pastor Donald.
You got so confused. You're like, uncomfortable.
I've come to tell you about my new project.
What is it, Stan?
It's called Staying Alive.
I'm giving it everything I've got, Tony.
I've teamed up with Orrin Hatch for a new line of supplements.
Staying alive.
I've got an animated movie.
Oh, yeah?
Here's the pitch.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
What
Stan.
scantily clad woman's going to be in it?
It's a group of aliens who land on an animal planet and seek out the power of a panda whom they've seen through satellite broadcasts of a TV show.
What?
God, your pills are treating you great, Stan.
Someone put him in a home.
It's called
He's got a home.
Panda versus Aliens.
I was hoping it was pandemonium.
You're so very.
I like that. Let me write that down.
It's like Stripperella meets Kung Fu Panda.
Oh,
Listen, the Chinese love it, and they're financing it totally.
financing it.
financing.
Viva Pictures from Beijing.
Oh my God.
They-
Tell us more, Stan. We want to know more.
Stan,
No,
Like we're
Stan-
in. Like you
Stan-
got us hooked.
Stan,
That's
I like
all
your
you
idea.
need?
But you remember that time you touched my shoulder and I cried? Do you remember?
That's the pitch. It's what I call the Stanley elevator pitch.
That's it.
And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you leave the elevator.
I'm not leaving the elevator from your pitch,
Hey,
Stan. I'm leaving because you
Stan.
But
farted.
Stan,
The
honestly-
Chinese stayed in the elevator.
Yeah, but Stan, you're
Yes.
kind of trapped in an elevator. You can't just like walk out of an elevator.
Door opens all the time in
Stan,
the elevator.
Stan, do you remember when you were in Trial of the Incredible Hulk and
I remember it as though it were yesterday.
remember when the Hulk was smashing up the smashing up the courtroom and you
I
got,
was one of the jurors.
yeah, and remember you're like juror number 4 and you got all scared and
That took a tremendous amount of acting on my part.
I
That was
seriously
amazing. You should have got at least nominated
I
for an
think
Emmy.
an Emmy.
So Stan, I just want to thank you because when I saw your skill as juror number 4 in Trial of the Incredible Hulk, I realized that I can't be an actor.
You don't laugh
know-
like that, Stan.
You know,
You don't laugh like a delighted little girl.
I should come and hang out in this basement more often.
You
It's
should.
good for my ego.
Oh,
I've got to go.
did you say ego or eagle? Because if you brought your
What do you
eagle,
got to go do, Stan?
I've got some more ideas to pitch to the Chinese.
he's doing the opening at a Chick-fil-A in Biskupski.
Jesus.
I laughed so hard.
Excelsior!
Bye, Stan. Bye, Stan.
Bye, Stan.
I love it when he shows up. You
Oh my
guys.
God,
He's better.
so-
He's better than that interface is cumbersome
he
guy.
smells so good.
God, he's so spry for
I just want.
I know.
I want you guys
He's
to tell
so
me who that guy was.
It's amazing on his way
Arnold
out.
Schwarzenegger, that was Stan Lee.
Interesting.
On his way out the door, he was doing soft shoe with Dick Van Dyke.
He created Mr. Freeze that you played.
I want.
No, Mr. Freeze is from DC.
Oh, you're right. I don't know what I'm talking
Sorry,
about.
I stepped back here just long enough to say that
Stan!
I did not create Mr. Freeze, but I wish I did.
Yeah.
Excelsior!
Bye, Stan.
I laughed so hard
Be
I used
careful.
my inhaler.
I
Be careful
saw
on
it.
the stairs. Don't break your hip, Stan.
I saw it.
Use the motor chair.
You have video games
I
there?
do. I do.
When you use your inhaler, I like to think of you as Roadhog from Overwatch
Huffing some gas. Seriously, I
because your DPS is on point.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah, but that hook keeps clipping through the wall, pissing me off.
All right.
Roadhog is a daddy.
Stan.
Don't.
Did I, did,
All right,
hey,
soldiers.
everybody. Did I miss Stan Lee? Was he
You
just
did.
here?
He
You
was.
did.
Just here, Kerry.
While you were taking,
Just here.
Kerry was like, I got to take a shit. You guys just keep doing
Yeah,
he
it.
did.
he mimicked that all to us. He
No,
mimicked that whole
it's strange
thing.
though because right before he shows up, there's always that smell of liniment and clove.
I know.
And
I used
I
to soft
missed
shoe
it.
with Dick Van Dyke and Stanley.
Oh, it's Pillowfish Jenkins,
Pillowfish
everyone.
Jenkins.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
I hope 80s Lee doesn't show up.
Uh-oh.
Tony wanted to hit us with a little video game.
Yeah.
On the 3DS this month, or week, I mean, you got Apollo Justice Ace Attorney.
What?
Who's where is
Apollo?
Phoenix Wright?
No, he's done. He's retired.
Apollo
Because
Justice.
my
Apollo
ex-wife loved
Justice.
those Phoenix Wright. Yeah.
Who's this young upstart?
That's exactly who he is.
Yeah.
A young
And
upstart.
who is naming these people?
I don't know.
The
Let's see.
Chinese.
We got
Listen, they'll buy just about anything. If you Stan Lee, that is.
Oh my God.
Excelsior!
He came out from under the table. That was. I'm so uncomfortable right now.
Motherfucker came through the window.
he leaves so quickly.
He is so spry for an old man.
So fast. I don't know.
All right. A lot of games that I don't think most people will care about this week. Something called River City Rival Showdown. I don't know.
that's where you're wrong. That's my favorite game.
That was a.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
No, it's
that for
River City
hillbillies?
Ransom. River City Ransom.
Oh,
was-
I had no idea what you're
Do you
talking
get to
about.
play Jughead? Can I be Jughead?
No, I don't see any Jugheads
No.
on here.
What about my
Oh, that's
character?
Riverdale.
What about
River City Ransom was like a Double Dragon throwback back in the day. It's just a beat 'em up. That's all it
okay.
is.
Oh,
All right.
maybe he's right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's good. I don't know.
It would be odd.
We got
Peculiar moment.
Super Beat Sonic with an X.
Super Beat
I
Sonics.
don't know.
I've beat it with us.
I don't know. Also, Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition for the PS4 and Vita. World of Final Fantasy for the PC.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Let's see.
You better read that next one. You better read it.
Oh, Stick It to the Man?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's a game. It's a game where you get small victories. You don't really win the game.
Where he pulls you over and then lets you go.
Yeah, that's right. You get small victories. You don't
Let's
win.
see.
When's Syrup Soda Saga coming out?
Oh, that's next year.
I
It got
wanna-
delayed.
I want to open one of those Syrup Soda shacks so I can get a lawsuit.
Well, Utah court ruled that's okay. So
Yeah.
Ignite the Soda Wars again.
Yeah.
We got a Nintendo 2DS Link Edition. So it's green. That's pretty cool.
Is that what I think it is?
Let's see.
Based on the show?
Where? Oh no, that's not based on the show. That's next week though. That's it for this week.
That's still weird
Well,
though.
still nothing from the Adventures of Fister Roboto.
Yeah, my advice to you is play some of the games that have come out in the last month. You
Right.
got Mario Odyssey,
Yeah.
you got
Yep.
Wolfenstein, you got
Yep.
Battlefront, you got
Torchlight 2.
What if you want to stick it to
That's
the
an
man?
old game.
yeah,
But guess what? Torchlight
I
2
wanna
is
stick it
amazing.
to
So
the
let's play
Okay,
it.
sure.
you get a pet in Torchlight. I mean,
I got a little dog.
Yeah, I got a little
Little
puppy.
dog goes back to the
Yeah.
village and sells my shit for
It's
me.
Diablo for kids.
Okay, play Torchlight 2.
Or Diablo for Lee.
Diablo for kids and Leigh.
Yeah, but don't let the kids play with Lee because Lee bites.
You got what's Middle Earth Shadow of War?
The Nemesis system.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
Yo, I
Yeah.
fucks
I
with
mean,
Destiny.
The last 2 months have been
Titanfall.
ripe with new great games.
It's too many.
Yeah, it's
I
too many.
want the Nemesis system to actually branch out to every game out there because the last Mordor game came out right before the Mad Max game. The Mad Max game was fun, but after you play a game with the Nemesis system worked in, where every time you beat someone and then you don't kill them, they change. The AI actually adapts them, so they start holding grudges or they're terrified of you.
Yep.
So it could be you run into an orc that runs away screaming the second he sees you because you burned his face off, or he decides to bring his cousins and they have a
Get
love fest
revenge,
for
yeah.
you. Right. So you're playing Mad Max game, you got all the war boys, and you're like, oh, they just ran away. I want them to come back with a
Aw.
grudge.
Yeah.
All right, now before we leave, and I'm sorry to spring this on you. I should have warned you.
Oh, do I need to get the song out again?
No.
That's next episode.
Oh, right.
Stanley.
This episode takes place the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I want you all to think about it a second and tell me what you're thankful for. It could be geek related,
This is the kind of shit that always makes us
anything related. Well, then let's keep it geek related.
Geek related item.
Yeah.
cry. No,
what
I'm
are
just.
you?
No, you
No,
can't.
I'm going to make you guys cry. I'm ready.
You can't control my thoughts.
Okay,
You can't make me
All right.
cry.
go
Me?
if you want.
I am honestly thankful for in this time that we live in that is just gross and shitty and icky that I know so many great people that make me feel better about the current situation of the world. And that not everyone is gross and shitty and awful. And that goes out to, like, of course, everybody that's sitting in this room right now. And it goes out, like, I honestly think our fans, our people that listen to this show, are great, great, great fucking people
I think so too.
who don't know. Thank you. I'm thankful.
Well, I think it's because we have gone out of our way from day one on this show to make it pretty clear that we want to be better people, and we think that everyone should be better people, and we can do that through our fandom or just through our daily lives. And we've weeded toxic people out of our life.
And off of our show.
And
Did you guys kill Jeff Weiss?
oh
my God.
Too soon. He was the best.
He can't stop me. He liked me more than he liked all of you.
That's true. That's true.
No, but the other thing
Well,
is like
I did read the fanfic.
Touche.
I loved him.
being a part of the show has helped me weed some toxicity out of my own
I
life.
just want to emphasize that because it's okay to cut toxic people out of your life.
Yep.
It
It's
really
recommended.
is okay. Because I started 30 years ago weeding, as I call it, and it has been so beneficial to the success of not just my professional life, but my personal life. Getting rid of toxic people is just the best thing that you can do.
Agreed. So
Anyone
that's
else?
mine.
Anyone else?
I'm horrendously grateful for my wife because those of you that have known me longer than she's been in the picture know what a train wreck of a human being I was. There was not direction. There was mostly just chaos. I was a walking personification of chaotic energy. And so...
That being said, I still managed to gain some wisdom from that chaos.
I'm not saying that wisdom didn't, that there wasn't some wisdom in that chaos, but I can honestly say that without her patience with that randomness and that chaotic energy, I'd probably be long gone by now because that road was leading to some really destructive things. I'm not talking about drugs. I'm just talking about, decisions made at high speed.
Or
can sometimes-
complete insanity.
Yeah, and that's not, we're realizing the more we get into family DNA that there is a there's a chance of that. So having a grounding influence is really good, and putting up with 5,000 businesses and 50,000 ideas in 25 years has probably taken its toll on her sanity. But it's sobering when I wake up every day and realize that I still have that partner in crime that keeps me inspired and hasn't lost faith in this randomness. So,
May I comment?
yes, sir.
I would say I am super proud of you because I think everybody that knows you well, right, and has known you for a long time, has always been Leigh is capable of great fucking things. And you're doing it, bud. Like we've for years we're like, what the fuck? Why isn't Leigh doing great things?
Because Leigh can't focus.
Well, no. I would disagree. I think you have laser focus.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You are like the Don Quixote of the people I know.
I don't know what
right?
that reference is, but
There's
yeah.
a lot of windmills.
Right, no, but but you decide to do something, you do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I love it that you did your coloring book.
Thank you.
I love it that you opened a fucking restaurant,
Yeah.
right? On a whim. Come on, let's say it. It was on a
whim.
fucking whim.
Yeah, it was
right?
more of a dare.
And you close it on a whim, and now you're doing your next thing. And I honestly think, out of all the things you have done, I think that this is perfect for you. And I think this is going to be your most successful venture yet. And I think this is something you will actually be able to pass down to your kids.
Preach.
Agree.
They don't want it.
Not yet,
Well, I would
anyway.
ask
So
you-
you'll
but
start
honestly-
that.
I would say pass it down to me, but I'll be dead
No,
before
but
you. But,
no, I sincerely appreciate that, and
but I've
that
seen the
means-
narrow of focus from you, and I think it's awesome.
Okay, you
So-
two, and then I'm going to close on Kari.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
Well, Leigh
I got faith.
Leigh took mine. I'm grateful for his wife. No.
Where's this going?
Yeah, there are those random moments where I realize Tony's the funniest fucker on the
I
show.
know he is. He
is.
waits. He lays
He
in
is.
wait.
He's a ninja.
He's a patient man.
He's a comedian ninja.
Jokes. So no, but for real though, my wife.
Yes.
My wife. Yep. Thanks, Borat. I'm always super grateful for her for putting
Yep.
up with me for battling her health problems she's had the last year or
Yes.
so. Nothing life-threatening or anything like that, but just super difficult.
Yeah, and annoying.
And annoying, stuff that just slowly chips away at a person's like happiness and things in their life.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of that. But yeah, super grateful to her and everything that she helps me with and
Nice.
all that kind of
There
good
you go.
stuff.
She's
She's
we
pretty
like her.
awesome.
We like her.
just a wonderful person.
Jay?
What you got, babe?
I'll just say this. I'm extremely thankful for this podcast. I think about what my life was before I had met you gentlemen, and I've always been lost. And through the process of my years on this show, I have continuously found myself. And so, like, I think I look around at everyone at this table, Kari included. So many of you have taught me so much about myself. Shannon has helped me has taught me patience as a father. Leigh has taught me how to be a better gentleman. James has taught me how to recognize my own potential. Kari is actually has helped me be a better boyfriend and be a better black man and understand my own culture.
You're welcome.
Tony has taught me acceptance and tolerance because Tony, I love Tony. Like, you guys don't really understand how much I appreciate Tony because
I think you appreciate him in the same way we all do.
I know, but it's
Thanks, guys.
no, like
You
Tony.
are.
Tony
there's
is
like, there's no
amazing
reason
beard.
why he should be sitting here and listening to this
right.
bullshit.
The
right?
reasons I love you guys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, and it's and then Jimmy helping me get drive. I mean, Jimmy's got a certain kind of drive, and not to say it's not shitting on all of you. I mean, like it's just there's a Jimmy drive, and then there's a Leigh hustle. There's the Leigh hustle. It's and then Kerry, God damn it, man! Like you're like a Jay whisperer, and I can't. I still go back and listen to like the first episode that I was on, and then just Jeff teaching me knowledge and confidence. Jeff taught me so much confidence, like because sometimes Jeff he admitted to me that I don't know everything, but I sound confident as shit when I say it, and it's just like I just appreciate all of you guys so much because I'm so grateful for the impact that you guys have had on my life because I feel like for the first time in a really long time, I feel like I'm the best version of myself. And I fucking love it. And I owe it all to you guys.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Okay, this is gonna sound pandery, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I feel like women have had a hard run forever.
Yeah, since the beginning.
And you guys are just barely getting a taste of it, I think. And I've noticed a lot of men in my life have been exhausted, really tired. They have that like gaunt look in their eyes. It's kind of like
Exasperation fatigue.
yeah, exasperation fatigue. And I get it that it's karma and you guys deserve every bit of it, but
Damn right. Okay, she ain't wrong.
you're only human, and I have been so blessed to get the grace of your humanity and your confidence in me. Especially Leigh and Jay have both believed in anything that I've ever wanted to do. I could tell them tomorrow that I want to be a balloon animal artist. and
Or
they
do a
would-
GoFundMe.
Or do a oh yeah, we forgot to mention that.
But you're also like you're a party leader, so basically any good barbarian's gonna lend your axe.
Right.
So
But without because women are born into this world with like a certain lack of confidence in our abilities. Society doesn't tell us that we're capable of things. And I feel like I have been lent a piece of people's souls, especially men in my life, who have said, you know, you may not have the confidence, but we're going to give it to you.
go be that warrior.
Yeah, we're going to make sure that you have it. And so being invited on this podcast means a lot more than I'll ever lead on because it's wildly uncool to be so sincere.
Well,
Hear that?
I've always wanted you on this podcast.
I love that. Thank you. But I just want to say that there is a lot of power in your belief in me, but not just me, but like other female geeks in our community and the stuff that you guys have built. It's powerful. And I'm really, really thankful that you've used your power for good. I think it means the world to me.
This shit.
Please don't cry.
I'm not crying. I just got some moist residue.
I
left at
genuinely
the
mean
top.
it, though.
I know, right?
I've always looked up to you guys, and I know that you have a lot of internal, personal superhero powers.
Well,
Truly.
You gotta know, I personally look up to you like so much. Not all the shit that you don't I'm just like, oh my god, you don't fuck with her, or you don't do shit that she does not like. She will fucking call you out.
Yep.
And
That
I love it.
I
I don't
admire
read
that.
it all
Oh,
because
you shouldn't.
I got a short attention span.
You're my.
Damn.
But no, seriously. And she's like one of our oldest fans. And it's just
OG.
like, and
She's
it's like,
not even 30.
I know.
right? No, but it's the same thing as Corey Hoekstra that runs Watchtower.
We have matching tattoos, she and I.
Well, I have watched you both grow from, just grow as women and just become these amazing women. And you guys are just like two examples of how proud I am. Of,
I think of Danielle. I think of Danielle taking off to Toronto. I think of
Danielle Uberhauer.
Frost.
Rebecca Frost living
Yeah.
in New York and,
Yep.
and just kicking ass and taking names. And I think I really see this with my daughter sometimes too, because at the post millennial generation, they're so tapped in and they're so wonderfully aware of the world, and they're terrified of it too for good reason. But I really do have so much hope for the future now, because I see a lot of warriors like you stepping up and saying, you know what, for lack of better words, the status isn't quo. This bullshit will not stand. And I love that we have so many strong women that are willing to be that spiritual Aragorn out there that says, we're going to take the hobbits to Isengard, and it's going to happen.
You guys keep deflecting, but just take the fucking compliment.
We did.
Jesus Christ.
We're just wrapping you right back up.
I'll take the compliment. I went to the
genuinely-
buffet. Me and Shannon went to the motherfucking buffet. Up top, my man.
We wouldn't have thrived without you. Genuinely. You have helped build us up. I don't want to give you all the credit.
No.
But it is.
Please don't.
We don't
Can I have some credit, please?
Yeah, it's due. It's due.
No, I mean for the bank. I'm just saying.
He wants real
I'm
credit.
thankful for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will.
I think we should sum it up and say.
I'm going to
Kerry's
say
turn.
the fireside chat is coming.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say.
What's the fireside?
You don't know.
Fireside chat.
That shit makes you cry.
It's
every
the
year.
end of the year
The
episode.
first episode of the
First
new
There's
episode.
year.
no
The new
broken
year.
news. Carrie sits down with brown liquor and fucking
Fire.
speaks some truth.
And when you hear it, you can hear him sip. And every time he sips, he gets sadder.
It's like Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You go,
So the fireside chat is coming. That's all I'm going to say.
I would like to sum up everything that we just said with our invocation.
What is our invocation?
I say these things, or we say these things because we know they're true. In the name of Jeffrey Michael Weiss.
Yes.
He didn't
Amen.
listen to Jeffrey.
Amen.
I'm thankful for Excitable James too.
Look at him! I deal with the
He
little
picked
guy.
up my empties.
no, honestly,
guy.
he's like the unsung hero. I'm telling you. I
No,
love this dude.
this show is so responsible for all the joy in my life.
Yeah.
Not all the joy. I would say a large portion.
I
of the
was
joy.
I was having horrible seasonal affective disorder. You guys did me a huge favor. Truly. I have something to look forward to.
Let us
I
know.
love y'all.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
We've been looking for a reason.
All right, ham us out here.
Oh God. Thanks for the ham, y'all. Like I had nothing else.
That's perfect.
How do you,
It's a Thanksgiving episode.
how do you